When I'm traveling on a video production or a photo shoot and I'm traveling overseas or I'm traveling on a plane in the car, I used to bring, this is years ago, this was the adapter, this adapter right here. I used to pack in my bag and it had four outlets because when you're in hotels, for some reason, they don't have a lot of outlets and the outlets that they do have, they don't plug in well. So I used to bring this everywhere with me on all the productions. So at least I had four outlets to plug in. Not all of the hotels would have a grounded, at least if you're in the US, it's not in a grounded plug. But I used to bring this, and for the most part, all of the big hotels had a grounded. The older hotels and some of the janky ones, they only have the two prong, but most of them have the three prong if you're going into a decent place. So I would bring this. What is this called? A Monster Power. If they still sell this, I'll put a link below to find this or something like this. But these days, all of my camera products and accessories, like this Hollyland, what is this, wireless system, an Action 4, this new DJI Osmo Pocket 3 I got, even my phone, my cell phone, they're all USB-C. USB-C, or if you have an Apple product, it'd be a Lightning, although the new Apple products are all USB-C as well. So it's all USB-C. So then what I started doing, this isn't recently, this has been also a few years ago. I purchased one of these. This is like a little USB bank. This is by Nextech. This is a 60 watt. So over here, there's three USBs, A's. The bottom one is a 12 watt. And then the top one, you can't really see it. There's printing here. This is 60 watt USB-C. 60 watt is capable of powering a MacBook, the MacBook Air, I think. And I would bring this also for my Mac because I'm an Apple user. But now there's less USB-A and there's more USB-C. Everything's USB-C now. That's where it's headed. This maybe I've had for over 5 years. Just a few months ago, the 60 watt port here stopped working. It stopped outputting any kind of charge and only the USB-A's would work. So I needed to upgrade. I was looking online for different options and I found two that looked good, and I'm going to unbox them in this video. The reason why I got two is because I've been traveling a lot more and I just have so many of these little devices that I need to charge overnight. And then there's little batteries, just a ton of stuff. So let's do the 160 watt first. Even if you're not doing video production like me or photography, just to travel with something like this, I think you'll find it beneficial if you're not already doing it. Getting one of these multi-port, you have so many devices, even if it's just your computer, your tablets, your phones. A lot of modern hotels, the nice ones at least, are starting to offer USB ports. But I've been in hotels internationally where the USB, you can't trust the voltage, and there's other issues going on with using the hotel's USB. But here's a 160. This one had good reviews from what I can tell. Oh, so there's three USB-A's and three USB-C's. And if you can see here, they're different wattages. So the USB-A's are usually 5 volts out. And then here the USB-C's, this one's a 25 watt out, and a 65 watt out. If you plug them all in, it's 160 watts total output. So it's 160 split among all of the ports that you're actively using. So if you want the full capabilities of a 65 watt, just plug in the 65 watt into your MacBook or MacBook Air and you'll get that. But if you have other things plugged in, it's going to decrease, so you're not going to get a consistent 65 necessarily. I think that's how most of them work. There's other multi-ports I've seen where there's a LED or there's a display and it shows you the output, so you know that it's a consistent output or not. I like the ones where the cables are detached because then you can always replace it with a shorter or a longer one. There's some of these multi-ports where there's the prong, it's built in. If you're familiar with Apple products, so they'll have something like this. This is their like a 65, 60. No, this is the 87 watt charger. So they'll have it like that, where you got to plug the whole brick into a wall outlet. And if you've been into those janky hotels, you know that they, for some whatever reason, their outlets, they don't hold this. This is too big. I mean, it's too heavy, and it'll fall out. So I don't tend to like it when it's built in, even though it may appear more convenient. So you got this, plug it in, and then all of these should work fine. So this one, oh, it doesn't say, oh, here. I don't like that it doesn't say the full wattage of this device, but when I bought it, this is supposed to be like 200. It's supposed to be a 200 watt. So one plug, and this one you have a lot more ports. You have 3 USB-A's and 5 USB-C's, but the USB-C's here, they're different wattages, and oh man, they didn't label them on this one. See on this 60 watt? I don't know how well you can see that, but they label exactly what the output is. But this one, it's unlabeled. That is annoying. I have to bring this around with me every time I need to know what is what. So at 200 watts, this seems smaller. And there's another thing called GAN. That has something to do with regulating the power so nothing shorts, and there's some kind of electronic control so you're not going too crazy with if you don't know anything about protecting your devices with too much power or not. That should prevent it, or that should protect it. But I really don't like that nothing's labeled on this one. At all. Because I'm going to forget what these are outputting. So maybe, I mean, I'll leave links below to these products, and also the trusty Nextech that's lasted me forever. But since it only has one USB-C, I wouldn't get this again. But if you only need one USB-C and then USB-A's, I trust this product. But yeah, so this 161 looks good. But this one, the 200 watt, because nothing's labeled, that's a problem for me. But yeah, there you go. I'll do a follow-up video if I find that these break or these suck. But for now, these have pretty good reviews, decent reviews. So I recommend it. I'm going to recommend the 160 more because everything's labeled. But this, for 200 watts, sometimes you need more power, and this is just another option.